Hello and welcome to our number talk. Today we are looking at the expression 55 minus 16. What we do in a number talk is we use mental math, that means no paper and no pencil, to try to solve an expression, and then we come back together and look at all of our strategies together. So before we do anything, let's go ahead and do that. Pause the video, work out 55 minus 16 in your head. When you have your solution, unpause it. We'll explore all of the possibilities together. So the first thing that we could have done is the strategy adding up. And what we do is we start with our subtrahend, and that's actually the fancy name for the second term in a subtraction problem. We're going to start there, and we want to add up. We want to jump up in chunks, and we want to get up to our big number, which actually has a term for itself. We can call it the minuend rather than the big number, but we're going from little number to big number, from subtrahend up to minuend. So we're going to take some jumps, and we're going to jump to the nearest 10 first. So 16, the nearest 10 is going to be 20, so that's a plus 4. Then we're going to take one big jump because we want to get close to that 55 without going over. We're just going to go by 10. So the closest 10 to 55 without going over is 50. So one big jump from 20 to 30, 40, 50, that's an extra 30. Skip count by tens. And then we've got an extra 5. So you can start with 4, add the 30, that's 34, and add 5 more is 39. So hopefully you got a difference of 39. Another option we can use is compensation. So what we do is we take our subtrahend and we make it easier to subtract. So I'm just going to add 4, because what I want to do is I want to make this 20. Because if I can make this 20, well, then that's going to be very easy, because I can just say 55 minus 20, well, that's going to be 35, no regrouping necessary. But remember, I added 4 to make my 16 go up to 20, which means I took 4 more away than I really should have, so I have to give that back. So I added 4. Now I got to add that 4 back in, and that gets me 39 once again. We can also count back. So it's kind of like adding up. Instead, we start with the minuend. We start with that over here, and we're just going to take little jumps backwards. So we're going to go to our next 10. So that's going to be 50, and we're going to take away 5. And we're going to just jump by tens. So let's do 10 jumps rather than one big jump. So that's another 10 to 40. Let's see, that's going to be 30. Let's make that a 30. Let's do another 10 down to 20. Well, we can't take any more 10 jumps. Now we need to do a little jump down to 16. And that gets us to our minuend. That gets us to our subtrahend, actually, because we're going backwards this time. And so that was a minus 4 jump. And so we can just kind of add these up as minus 5. We've got 15, 25, 35, and add 4 more. Still gets us back to that 39. Now this is a good strategy. It's called constant difference. And so what we do with constant difference is kind of like when we added up, right? We changed our 16 up to 20, but then we had to add that 4 back in. Did you know that you can change both numbers? So in order to keep a balanced expression, I'm just going to add a plus 4 to both numbers. It's going to make 2 separate numbers, 59 and 20, but those two are the same distance away as the 55 and 16. I just added a 4 to both of those to make it easier, because now I don't have to regroup. 39 is going to be my answer. So 59 minus 20 is the same as 55 minus 16. You kept a constant difference. You still found 39. So if you found another way to solve 55 minus 16 in your head, that's great. Go ahead and add that as a comment on the video. Teachers, if you would like a copy of the slide deck for your own use in the classroom, you can find it on my website at 5minutemath.net.